Awesome, guys. So I'm going to tell you guys a story about where I was and how I came to be to the place I am now and where I am headed here in the near future. And so I hope that what we can accomplish here in the next 90 minutes or so is things that you can take with you in your business, in your personal life, and hopefully use it to exponentially grow your business. I came up with a project and a system called Content into Cash. And it's based on the 2 years that I've been working with a mentor of mine who runs a $45 million law firm, and I'll tell you a little bit more about him here in a second. But we created a system. It started working really, really, really well. And so what I'm gonna do is just kind of talk about all of the principles and how it works. First thing that I want to talk to you guys about is there's a lot of misinformation out there, right? When it comes to social media, when it comes to marketing. I know because I work with marketing people all the time. And so it's not your fault if this is not working or hasn't worked for you in the past, but we're gonna move forward. Understand that you can do this. I know when it comes to social media or video content creation, a lot of people suffer with imposter syndrome. They don't wanna be on camera, they feel uncomfortable, but we'll talk about the things that we can do to make you guys feel comfortable so that when you guys start putting out content, more people know you. The more people know you, the more people can buy from you. That's just a fact. And social media managers, in my opinion, are missing a key ingredient, and which is how I came up with Content into Cash in the first place. You have your content creators, right, that are video guys that are amazing at creating content, but don't necessarily know how to distribute the content properly. Then you have social media managers that can give you the data, put all the, they can distribute the content well, but the content really isn't that great. And so what we've done is sort of bridge that gap and married it together and go, okay, how can we create amazing content, volume of content, and then distribute it properly to make sure that we're getting it to the people that are resonating with our market. And then it's constantly changing, right? Instagram used to be strictly pictures. Now TikTok came out, and then Instagram followed suit. Right? And then Facebook followed suit. And now YouTube has YouTube Shorts, right? And now LinkedIn. And now Elon Musk just picked up Twitter. So it's just constantly changing, and you want to make sure that we're on top of those trends, because if you're on top of those trends, you'll be the first, right? And the algorithm is going to work in your favor. And success is around the corner, guys. I've been doing this with several people, several businesses, and I'll talk about them here in a second, where I've been able to exponentially grow their business like really, really quickly, really, really fast. And they also say 1 in 4 entrepreneurs fail at least once before succeeding, and it takes entrepreneurs an average of 3 years for their businesses to begin supporting them financially. So how many people are about like a year into their business right now? Okay, cool. How about 3 years into their business? Yeah, more than 3? Sweet. More than 5? 6 months? More than 10? All right. So, sweet deal. More than 10. Congratulations. Actually, they say 90% of businesses fail within 10 years. It's crazy. So there's 2 types of people that this is going to be for. Our beginners, right? People that are just getting started. And then it's going to rocket fuel the people that have been in business 3 years and up. My goal the next 90 minutes is to give you the keys to unlock exponential growth in your business using the Content into Cash system. So how I've been able to benefit from this is I've been able to grow my company to 7 figures within 2 years. I get to work on my passion projects. I get to travel. Currently, we're doing a shoot in New Orleans, and I'm not having to be there, right? I have my team working. They have it on lockdown. I was able to do a podcast yesterday with Jerry. I'm here pushing and getting into more of the public speaking and consulting business, right? And I get to travel, which I really love to do. My backstory is, just like Jesse was saying, come from humble beginnings. My parents were not rich. They didn't help me with anything. They weren't able to help me. And so a lot of the things that I've done is because I've had to just pull up my bootstraps and just figure it out and hustle it out. And I was able to move my family to New Orleans because of the success, but I started working on Bourbon Street and was just kind of struggling to get by. Obviously, 2019 comes. I had a baby on the way. COVID hit, right? And I was just a one-man show. super overwhelmed. How many people are one-man shows or one-woman shows right now? Yeah. So I get it, right? And I was about 40 to 60K in revenue a year, right? Consistently. Mounting debt, anybody in debt? Nobody? No. 2 people? Sweet dude. And then depression and anxiety followed suit. COVID hit, and I was just trying to figure it out. I couldn't, there was nothing there. And, once COVID hit, it was just another ding. And I'm sure everybody can feel feel that, right? Obviously. Jesse's back here in New Braunfels as a result of COVID, which is a good thing, right? And it was a good thing for me too, because I was able to learn from a gentleman called Lewis Scott, who I'm going to talk about in a second. But they say that 5 common causes of business failure is poor cash flow management, losing control of the finances, bad planning and a lack of strategy, weak leadership, and overdependence on a few big customers. We can all agree on that? So I knew I needed a plan. I just didn't know what plan, right? I read a lot of books, but I just, for some reason, couldn't get it into action. And the thing was, just like Jesse was saying, I taught salsa. I sang in a band. I was doing opera. I was writing scripts. I was acting. I was doing this. And I had so much spaghetti out there, which is why I call my podcast Spaghetti on the Wall, that I just couldn't get traction anywhere, right? And so I was so hesitant to let things go, because I knew I was making money off of so many different things, but it was so little, right? But I couldn't let these arms of income go because of that. And so when I met Lewis, backstory, me and Lewis went to high school together, right? And so shenanigans and all of that, I know him on that level. Come to find out, he grew his law firm business to $45 million a year in revenue. I didn't realize he was that successful. And at the end of 2020, he calls me up and he says, Armando, you should come out and shoot some videos for me. And at that time, I was only used to shooting one commercial, right? So when he was saying videos, I was like, okay, I didn't really grasp the concept. But he was like, yeah, I want you to come out every month and shoot between 20 and 40 pieces of content. And I was just overwhelmed. Mind you, I was a one-man show still, right? So I came in, we shot all of this video, then I was overwhelmed trying to figure it out, right? And then he had another client, Audrey Chisholm out of Orlando, and she wanted the same thing. So I flew out over there. So now I'm producing, 60 to 80 pieces of content in 1 month by myself. So I found an editor, luckily, and then I just started kind of figuring the whole thing out. And then Lewis was like, hey, Armando, you have a 7-figure business. And I was like, all right, Lewis. It's like friends, the familiarity breeds contempt sort of deal. I was like, all right, man, just do your thing. I'm going to do these videos. Don't worry about it. He's like, no, seriously. If you understood the principles of business and how to market and the ratios and all of that, you could really exponentially grow your business. But you need to fix this here. And I was like, all right, well, what are you proposing? He was like, well, look, I can give you this information for free, but if I do, you're not gonna implement the strategies as quickly, right? So I was like, okay, what are you talking about? $2,500 a month. It's like you want me to pay you $2,500 a month to tell me about business? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I was like, I can't do it. my house payment is not that. What are you talking about? $2,500. He's like, you're still here. You still have a limiting belief. You have a limiting belief system. If you can change that, you will exponentially grow your business. But the thing is, you won't, unless you make the commitment to do that and to invest in yourself, you're never gonna get past that terror barrier that they call it, the terror barrier. So I was like, went another month, went 2 months, went 3 months. And on the 3rd month, I started seeing that he grew his business, startup, this 8-figure firm business, from 0 to $2.5 million in a year's time. Audrey Chisholm, who I'm gonna show you here in the next, nonprofit attorney, she was consistently at $700K a year. We saw her grow for her business from $700K a year to $2.4 million in 6 months. And I'm like, what? What? I couldn't, I'm seeing it happen. I'm not seeing how they're doing it, right? I'm like, fine, Lewis, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give you $2,500. I'm committing, let's go. He's like, all right, let's go. In the first month, had my biggest month ever. And granted, look, I was making like what, $60,000 a year. My first month working with him, $30,000 that month. Like $30,000 in revenue that month, right? Because it was just, things started clicking because I saw it. The conviction was different. When I started talking, it was different. The confidence was different. My sales increased as a result. And when you see it, you actually see it and experience it, then it becomes so much easier to close business, right? And so here's a little testimonial that he gave to me.
Prior to using Armando and his video company, we were struggling with volume of content creation. We had an in-house team, but we just couldn't get enough content out. And as many of you know who are watching this video, content is king in this day and age, especially in the day of personal branding. And so we needed another option, and we turned to Armando and his team, and we realized that it was truly the best option for us. It provided us the flexibility, on-time delivery. We had the videography done, the editing. They came up with some of the concepts, and that alone had tremendous value. So if you're thinking about doing videos for your business, there's nowhere else you need to look but LeDuc Entertainment. They're going to take your company to the next level, help you provide the type of content you need for your business to not just grow, but to thrive in a world of just great competition. So be sure to reach out to them. I highly endorse them. Now we've done over 100 videos together. It's been super successful, this endeavor, since we've been working together this past year, and I would highly recommend that you reach out to them.
This testimonial was done about a year and a half ago. So up to this point, we're like at 300 plus videos. But in that time, cool thing about creating the content is that we've been doing it for 2 years, and we're just like constantly doing it. At the end of it, he just wrote a book called The King of Growth, right? That have all of the content that he put in for the last 2 years. That became the content for the book, right? So now he's selling the book. He just, he hit $45 million with his law firm. He's about to go to 9 figures with his law firm. His business is now at 5 million, the 8-figure firm business. He just bought a Lamborghini. I'm not saying this, to like try to brag or whatever. I just want you to see that it's possible, and I've seen it, and I just shot videos for him last week. And he's like, Armando, 2023, I'm going all in on content. I'm like, dude, you're already in on content. He's like, no, like 17 to 58 pieces of content a day. I'm like, okay, all right, man. You do it, I'm gonna see it, and we'll follow suit. So that's Louis. And this is my why. My family, my friends, the people that work for me. This is why I work as hard as I do. How many people have family, kids, right? I mean, that's the driving force, right? That's the motivational factor. And so that's why I work as hard as I do. The top reasons why small businesses fail is that they experience cash flow problems, like I already said, right? 82% of small businesses that fail experience cash flow problems, while 42% find insufficient need for their product or service. 29% run out of cash, 23% don't have the right team, and 19% are out-competed. And all of these things can be remedied with content marketing. And the reason I'm telling you that is because the side effects of having content being created on a monthly basis makes you better at what you do. Because it makes you better at your messaging, your target audience. You're actually looking at the data after the months and months and months, and you can go, oh, these videos are doing better. These videos not so well. Why are these doing well? Why are these are not? But all the while, you're still learning. You're still trying to create better and better content, and then more and more people know you. I told Jerry, I was at a Po' Boy Fest in New Orleans, a guy that I haven't seen in years, been following me on social media. He introduced me to one of his producer friends that just moved there from LA, right? I'm writing a project called Life on Bourbon. He's like, oh yeah, I heard about it, put me in touch, and now we're in talks to have him produce this movie. But I wouldn't have stayed top of mind had I not been posting all the time. And this is, you guys can feel free to take notes on this, and I'm also gonna send out the PDF of this to Jerry so that you guys can get the whole PowerPoint presentation. But these are the 3 secrets on how to create content on a monthly basis to make sure that it's just a continuous engine, right? How to develop the right content, how to shoot the content, and how to distribute the content. Secret number 1, developing the content, right? So that your audience flocks to your page and you become the voice of authority in your niche, right? how are we developing the content? We have to start from the fundamentals. What is your brand? What is your messaging? Do you have a catchphrase? What is your, is your business ambiguous? Do people, when they hear your business name, are they confused? And there's a book called My Story Brand, and the big takeaway from that book is, if people are confused, they're not gonna buy. Because they have 5 seconds to 10 seconds to go whether or not they should be doing business with you. So if you make it hard for them and you're like, well, I have to kind of explain what it is. Okay, you lost me. Which is why a lot of people that I work with are like personal injury attorneys, family law firms, managed service providers. Like that's their business. It's easy to understand what it is that they do. So for business owners that are entrepreneurs and starting out in sort of a blue ocean strategy, are you guys familiar with blue ocean and red ocean strategy? Yes? Okay, cool. For those that don't, so red strategy, the red ocean means that there's a feeding frenzy, there's a lot of competition, right? There's a lot of people that you're competing with. Blue ocean strategy is where you are sort of by yourself. Now there's pros and cons about both. Pros about having a red ocean market is that people are already looking for your services. Bad thing is that you're competing with a bunch of people. Blue ocean, you are by yourself. However, you have to create the need for people to want to do business with you, right? So you're having to educate. And it's all about education-based marketing, which is why content marketing is so important. Because if I can educate you guys on this whole process, and this is the thing, more and more people are starting to understand that about what content marketing is, but they're not really piecing all of the things together. And so my job is to educate my clients so that they understand what the process is, because they say, there's a book called The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. 17% of what I'm sharing with you guys right now is what's gonna be absorbed. That's it. You guys are gonna absorb 17% of this conversation at the end of the day. You guys are gonna hear 1 or 2 things that are gonna stick and you go, okay, cool. Other than that, so if that's the case, if only 17% of what I'm telling you, you guys are absorbing, you gotta understand that that's your clientele as well. They don't know your business. They don't know how it operates. They don't know the ins and outs and the pitfalls and all of that. But if you can teach them and you become the voice of authority, then they're gonna go, yeah, I'm gonna go with Jerry. Because Jerry knows what he's talking about. He's educating me through the process. And people are research obsessed. They're gonna get the information. They should be getting it from you, but they're gonna get the information. And usually it's probably your competitors giving them that information. If there's a personal injury attorney, right, that has 1 video out and it's a commercial, and then you have this other personal injury attorney that has 400 or 500 videos, who do you think is gonna win? You know, I mean, of course. It's predictable, right? Applebee's knows how much food they need to order on a Friday night so that they don't waste money. It's predictable. But the thing is, people don't understand that marketing is also predictable. If you're consistent with marketing, you're gonna grow your business. And here's some ratios you guys should write down that my mentor told me. 37% of your revenue should go into employees. 25% should go into marketing. 10% operations, and then the rest goes into your pocket. But the reason why people don't grow their business is because they would rather put money into their pocket.
Say that one more
Yeah,
time, please.
37% employees, 25% marketing, 10% operations. And then the rest is your profit. The rest is your owner take. And if you can keep that, if you stay disciplined and consistent with those numbers, you will grow your business. 80% of people won't do it though. We're gonna talk about the development of your content, right? So I want you to think about has anybody heard the term customer journey? Yes, one or two. So the customer journey is how a person experiences your business from A to Z. They're going on a journey, whether you've created it for them or not, they're going on a journey with you, right? And so hopefully we have created it so that we're intentional about where we want them to go. And if you guys want to close more deals, you have to lead them on the journey. You have to let them know, okay, what is next? If you go, okay, step 1, we're in the development phase. And I'll tell you guys from my experience what our process is, which is the development of your content. That's phase 1. Because what's your business? Yeah, balloons. If I don't know your balloon business, how can I market your balloon business, right? I need to know everything about it. Who's your target market? Who are you trying to reach? What's your aesthetic? How's your catchphrase? Do you have your brand colors? What's your font? Do you guys have a brand Bible? All of these things need to be done fundamentally before you guys can even start in the marketing process. Because if you don't have a strong foundation, it's gonna be hard to build. And then once again, it becomes hard to understand what your business offers because people are confused. Well, Armando, I offer this and this and this and this. I'm like, one thing. That's it. Then you can open up the menu. You don't have to stop offering everything. But if you're trying to make somebody drink from a fire hose when they just met you, they're gonna forget 17%. They're not remembering any of that. Grab that one thing, what's that flagship product that you have or service, and that's what we're pushing. We're pushing that, we're pushing that, we're pushing that, we're pushing that, right? Can we do weddings? Of course we can. Can we do acting reels? Yes. Can we do music videos? Of course. Can we do commercials? Yes. You know, and they do. They you know, a lot of my clients, they come to me for other things. We've done legacy videos as well. But I can't go and try and market everything because it's just not gonna work. So you guys have to do the same thing. And it comes back to developing your content and what is your customer journey. And here's the thing, guys, when you guys create your system, it's gonna be a lot easier to get everybody that you hire on board because that becomes your service standards. That becomes your vision, mission, and core values. These are the things that are the lifeblood of your business. And if you hire someone and you don't have a vision, mission, core values, and this happens all the time with entrepreneurs, they're like, I can't find anybody good. Nobody's working in my business well. Are you clear? Are you clear? What are you doing? Right? Are you putting the blame on yourself? Because I do. If somebody fails in my organization, it's because I haven't taught them well enough. I am not clear about what I want. And so if I'm not clear about what I want, how can I expect them to be successful? You've got to be clear about what your customer journey is from point A to point Z. It doesn't have to be super complicated, but you need to know what step they're at, what phase. And then phase 2, and then phase 3, boom, boom, boom. And then what I do is I create videos for every step of those phases, right? And that goes out to your email list when somebody comes into your business and say, hey, thanks Armando for considering Kinsfather Creations, right? I haven't booked with you yet. You know, I know you're gonna have a lot of questions, but I'm gonna send you some emails here over the next couple of weeks to kind of explain what it is that we do and how we help and how you can blah, 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 blah. Right? So then every 2 or 3 days, I get an email from you, and this is your lead customer journey, right? And then I'm like, oh wow, cool. You know what? I totally forgot because I'm a business owner and I've got 1,000 other things going on, and I'm a husband and a father and a this and a that, and you know. But I get these emails, and then I'm like, oh great, I really do need to pull the trigger on that. It's not because I didn't want to, it's just because I got busy. But you kept reminding me. Now I'm your customer. Then you throw them into the customer journey. Hey, Armando, welcome aboard. This is awesome. This is gonna be great. We're gonna have a good time over the next few weeks. I'm gonna send you emails on what you can expect to. Boom, 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 boom. And then at the end of it, you go in for the referral and review request. And then that's how you keep building that engine, right? Everything just feeds itself, but it starts with the development. The customer journey. So create the customer journey, guys. That's step number 1. Here's the thing. You don't have to come up with what you think people are looking for. They already know what people are looking for. YouTube already knows. TikTok already knows. Google, Pinterest, all of your competitors, people are looking for your stuff, and what we try to do is we try to create the connective tissue that gets them to follow you. Not just about your business in particular, like for us, video marketing. It's not just about video marketing, right? It's the connective tissue that other people are looking for, which is how to make money online, how to grow your social media, how to do this, how to do that. And it's already there, so I don't have to sit there and try to rack my brain about what it is that people are looking for. Just look up the top. TikTok is now a search engine, by the way. It can be like, how to blah, 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 blah. And it'll show you all of the videos that have hundreds or millions of views, and then you just hop on board with that. I mean, don't take what they're saying and make it verbatim, but take the topic and you answer it in your own words. And just do that and do that and do that. That's how you're gonna do it. Super easy. What I would do is also work backwards, have a social media calendar ahead of time so that you know what you're producing. A lot of people, they're like, maybe they're creating content on a daily basis, and that's just not sustainable because sometimes you guys just don't want to do it. Or we don't want to like put makeup on and, you know, every single day, maybe, you know, yeah, I hear you. I don't either. So, so what you're gonna do is pick one day a month and batch create that content, right? They don't know, and bring in a bunch of different clothes that you can change into so it looks like different days. And that's how you do it. That's it. And then you go here and go, okay, Mondays, right? Mondays, you're talking about QuickBooks tutorial, whatever, right? And you'll put that there in the topic, right? And then you'll put the, when you click, this is Asana, by the way. This is what I use. I know Monday.com, you can use that too, but this is super easy because I can get it from the phone, copy, paste, and I can put my video right in there, and then, you know, and then I can distribute the content super easy. But, you know, QuickBooks tip, maybe a fun story about a bookkeeping incident, you know, maybe some embezzlement story that was fun, you know what I mean? But no, I know you laugh, but like, here's something that could have been avoided had they been following their QuickBooks or their books properly. They would have caught the fact that somebody was embezzling because they were on top of the books, right? More authority building, right? Fun content because it's history, right? Then Wednesday, you know, maybe the top 5 places to eat in New Braunfels, right? Show you local, show that it's just a little bit more fun content, right? Thursday, maybe a testimonial video from a client, right? Friday, another tip. You know, and you throw it in there ahead of time. That way, when you go into production, it's all done. And you know exactly what you're putting out, right? So that's how we do it. Here's a case study of a friend of mine, Brett Thomas, who I told, and Jesse knows this guy. I've been telling him for 2 years when we started this, I said, Brett, what are you doing? You're missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars. And he just didn't pull the trigger for some reason or another. This year, he finally did.
Armando has been working with me and mentoring me for going on about 2 months now. And his promise to me was that he was going to triple my business in 6 months. So we're 2 months in, and he has doubled it easily, if not a little bit more than doubled my business in 2 months. So I absolutely see this tripling my business in 6 months, because at the rate we're growing right now, we're hiring more people. I'm having more success in my business right now because of Armando LeDuc than I ever imagined. I would wholeheartedly do this again in a heartbeat. I would pay double to do it again in a heartbeat. If you're not working with Armando LeDuc, you're leaving money on the table.
So he has a web design company, right? And he's getting hosting fees. And I said, Brett, you're leaving money on the table because you're not offering SEO, SEM, social media management, Facebook ads. And so he's like, oh, you're right. I should be doing that. I was like, absolutely, because after you do a website, then what? That's what they're looking for. That's the next step. So he started doing that. Now he's franchising his business. The reason why we've been able to be so successful now is because we failed at doing this a lot. And the cool thing about the fact that we've been editing 300 to 400 videos a month is that you learn very quickly what works and what doesn't, right? And so when I'm talking to you guys, it's from a place of experience, right? And not that I know everything, I don't, but I'm continuing to learn. I'm staying abreast on the trends, right? And that's what I think is keeping us ahead of everybody else. Yeah, we went through social media experts that were just duds, but we've definitely perfected the branding and development stage of this marketing phase. And I think that is what separates us from a lot of marketing companies, is that they don't really think about the fundamentals first. They're just like, I need the money. And for me, I can't keep a business on because they pay me monthly to do their content. But if I if I want them to stay on board with me, then I better be successful and I better be able to show a return on investment because they're not going to continue paying me. But a lot of marketing companies don't care because they're one-offs. Oh, I'm going to make this commercial for you. Oh, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do a website and then forget it. And how many times have we spent money on somebody that's a one-off that once they got the money, they fell off, right? They were like, oh, it's like when you're dating somebody and they're like, I'll be so good to you, blah, 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 blah. You know, all of a sudden, and then what? You know, you get married and this person is just like, I'm not saying that I'm speaking from experience. I'm just saying that it happens. You know what I'm saying? All right. But that's the thing, is that I love that we're a retainer-based business because every month I have to, once again, prove myself to my client. And they love that. And I stay communicative and, you know, and I'm always trying to give them more ideas on how to grow. Secret number 2, shooting your content, right? If you're having fun shooting the content, it's gonna come across as fun. If you're not having a good time, it's not gonna come across as nobody's gonna wanna watch this. So you have to get good at like creating the content. And how do you get good at creating the content? Just like riding a bike. You have to do it. You have to do it, right? You can't learn a bike by like getting the best biking pants and the helmet and the best looking bike and all of that. If you're not riding it, it doesn't matter what you do. You have to create the content, and you can only get better at it by doing it over and over and over and over and over again, right? What we've learned is that variety of content is also king when it comes to your social media. If it's the same kind of videos over and over and over again, and people are expecting it, so you've got to change the content up, which is why we created that music video, which is why we do podcasts, which is why we do parodies, and I'll talk about the different types of content too. And you can write this down. Once again, I'll send this to you too. But these are the type of videos that we create for our clients. We do offer videos, right? So if there's an offer that's coming up, that could be a really quick 15 to 30 second plug. Hey, come on down to, Vicky's and enjoy a buy one, get one free cocktail. Or, it's a after, happy hour for, Hyper Club members or whatever, right? So like an offer video, obviously commercials, and then any special promotions that you guys have, Black Friday deals, holiday, whatever. We also do holiday videos. So this does relatively well. We did a video for Dat Band, and that's it's an events band for St. Patty's Day, and we put in like, hey, 5 fun things to do for St. Patty's Day, and we're like 1 this, 1, 2 this, 3 this. And it was just like quick, boom, 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 boom. The thing got like 10,000 views. And I was like, what? So, fun things to do for Thanksgiving, or 5 ways to have fun with your family during Thanksgiving. Could be quick. 1, this, 2, this, 3, this, 4, this. Thanks. All right, follow me later. Boom. So holiday videos do really well. Obviously, the FAQ videos that I was telling you guys about on Google, TikTok. Parody videos, we've done a bunch of those. So like we've taken like the A Few Good Men scene, and we did like A Few Good Firms. We did it for Lewis. We did one for The Matrix. We did like a Matrix parody, like the blue pill and the red pill. So those are fun. Trending reels, obviously you guys have seen those. So those do well. Podcast setups, and this is a really easy way to create content. The reason why I started my podcast a year ago was just so that I can have consistent content go out. And here's the beautiful thing about inviting people to your podcast is that you're creating relationships, you're building your followers, you can give them something in return. It's just a really fantastic way to build content, to build those relationships, and to have consistent content. Slice of life documentary videos, hey, what is the day-to-day look like at your business? What does the day-to-day look like in your business, right? Might be fun, interesting. I think we did a video where like the office stunk. Like it was stink, and I was like, so Melanie, what is this? Why does it stink in here? I don't know what it is. I was like, well, have you guys not tried to find out what it is? Because it's like really stinks. Well, I don't know. I don't have time. And I was like, all right, well. And so, and Ethan's filming me, and we finally figure out that somebody left cheese in the refrigerator, and it'd been like months of like the cheese in there. And I was like, this is the culprit. Anyway, we put that on TikTok. was like 20,000 views. I was like, what? There's no rhyme or reason, but like I said, the more you create, the more you start to learn, okay, what is it that people are looking at? What do they want to look at? Top 10 videos are really good too, guys. Do this and then tag those people. If you got the top 10 places to eat in New Braunfels, you create the video and then you tag those people in it. They're about, holy shit, who's this person? Thank you. They start following you. The top 10 personal injury attorneys, top 10 fun things to do, top 10 whatever. You can top 10 it all, every industry, right? And that's a really easy way to get more views and to get more engagement from other people. Video testimonials, of course. If you guys aren't doing this now, you should be. Anytime you guys do a wedding, you better be putting that, you better be getting that video testimonial, because those things get a lot of views. Music videos, of course. And then I was telling you like the fun, weird history. We have a client, JPAS, that's a community theater, and we did Why You Shouldn't Whistle in the Theater. Where does break a leg come from? And these videos got like 40,000 views.
Actually, tell everybody where it comes from.
Break a leg comes from the fact that if, back in the day, once you broke, I guess, the leg of the curtain, and you were out actually on stage, that meant you got paid, right? So when they say break a leg, it meant the leg of the theater, the curtain. And so when you broke a leg, you got paid. So that's where break a leg comes from. So
I thought it meant when you break a leg, you make it in the cast. If you broke your leg, because you're in the cast.
that's wrong.
You made the cast.
That's wrong.
And
That's extremely wrong.
one
Just kidding.
video is a
Yeah.
legacy video.
What's that?
One thing you forgot there is legacy video.
Well, I don't put legacy videos up here for y'all because it's not really a service that that y'all need for your business. A legacy video is one that I did for my dad, my father-in-law. My grandfather passed away 2.5 years ago, and I had nothing from him except for like a couple of pictures, and I was like, man, it would be nice for my daughter to have something for her family. And so I interviewed my mom, my dad, my brother, my father-in-law, a friend of ours that passed away from stage 4 brain cancer, which was really sad. But we have the video, and it was anyway. So, but you don't have to worry about doing legacy videos for you guys. But I would recommend interviewing your parents that are still alive and getting their stories. I would do that. These are the content ideas that I think you guys should start implementing. And you guys, I have like over 500-600 ideas for videos now. Like it's just never ending. So you guys can do that super easy. Here's a case study of a gentleman in Chicago who's an MSP. You guys familiar with MSPs? Managed service providers, cybersecurity. So we started working with him. This guy's about to hit 10 million in revenue, and
in order to get this effort off the ground for me, I hired Armando with Leduc Entertainment. He created amazing social videos for me, which I feel is extremely important for any brand, especially even MSPs, to sell your services. Because it's something crazy, like 78% of people now go online and watch a video and buy because they watched the video. If you're not doing video marketing on social or anywhere else, you are missing the boat on incremental and exponential revenue gains. You need videos, and even more importantly, you need quality work like Armando does with Leduc Entertainment. You got to do it.
like I said, what we learned was that the variety is the spice of life. So keep a variety of content on hand when you guys are creating videos. And one of the things in that Story Brand book was that you want to be 70% value build on your social media. So when you guys are putting things out, it's just value build stuff, and then 30% should be as for business videos. Cool? Secret number 3, engaging on social media the right way, right? Creating credibility and trust. It's all about credibility and trust. Nobody's going to want to do business if they don't trust you, right? Which is why sales feels so manipulative. If you feel like you're getting over on somebody, right? But if you have a good business and you can prove that it's going to be an amazing experience working with you, then the sales process no longer becomes I've got to convince you to do business with me. It's just, here's some stories. Here's some testimonials. People love working with me. This is the experience you're going to have. Now it's no longer, I don't have to, please, and then I didn't feel desperate. Doesn't feel like I'm having to like convince you of anything. Have a good product, create your customer journey, create all of the things, and then people will start to trust you. And so a big problem that we all see is, and I'm sure you guys have gotten it in LinkedIn DMs, where somebody's trying to sell you something and they haven't even talked to you. Like, hey, have you thought about, updating your website and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, who are you? Why are you selling me, man? But if you start a conversation first, if you're adding value first, then, you're just making friends on social media. That's the number one thing, right? Connecting, following, commenting, adding encouragement. If you can add value, add value. If you can add a tip, add a tip. Here's some advice, here's this. And you're giving and you're giving and giving, and people are like, oh, wow, this guy has given me so much information. Of course, I'll do business with this guy. This guy's super credible, right? So same thing when you guys are trying to engage, I would say follow your clients and your leads if you haven't already, right? And follow them on the platforms that they use mostly. And here's the deal. I post on all the platforms. TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. You never know where people are hanging out, right? Where do you like to hang out on social media? Facebook, right? How about you? Facebook? A little bit of everything? Facebook? Same? All the platforms, right? TikTok, there you go. A lot of people now are on TikTok to the point where my sister's on TikTok so much. I don't know if you guys have gotten this, but a person will come up and go, hey, I think you've been scrolling a little bit too long. You may want to back off. Have you seen this one? I haven't yet. But people are on TikTok. People are on LinkedIn. People are on Twitter. So you got to meet them where they're at. And don't miss out on opportunities because you're not posting on these platforms daily, right? So across all platforms. I would also follow other businesses in your niche, in other cities, right? And even in the same city. I follow video production companies in my city and social media companies. I know a lot of people are like, oh, and this is my business, and but that's not that abundance mentality. There's so much business out there, it's not even crazy. Follow your referral partners. Lewis alone has brought over $500,000 to my business. Like, he's a great referral source for me, right? Post tips and tricks videos in your clients' DMs. Hey, I thought you'd love this funny video, or I thought maybe you would get a kick out of this, or this is a really, really good tip. Sending funny clips, follow pages. Facebook groups. Guys, Facebook groups are where it's at. That's how I met Cannon over there. I'm a member of, I think, 35, 40 videography groups. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, cool. So I'm a member of like 30 or 40 videography groups around the country. Houston videographers, Texas videographers, Louisiana videographers, New York, Miami, all over, right? And I'm posting just success stories that I've had. Hey guys, if you haven't, started this yet, you should. I know all the videographers are still on the one commercial kick, but if you guys aren't working on, content marketing and a retainer-based model, you're missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? All of a sudden, 300-400 people are DMing me. How? What? What's going on? Teach me. What's? And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. And then I'm just building value, and then you're going to get the haters, right? The haters are like, who is this guy? Don't give this guy your money. And I'm like, I'm going to ask for money. I'm giving people value. But you guys don't understand it because you guys are still in thinking, not you guys, those guys. But those guys are thinking that it's all about the sale. It's all about the money. I know that if I build value, the money will come anyway. I don't have to sell you on this. I don't have to manipulate you into believing this. I just have to educate you. And I'm going to educate you through case studies, my experience, stories, success stories, and give you that value. And at the end of it, if you want to work with me, great. If you don't, that's cool too. I've had people that are like that haven't started working with me until about 6-7 months, not because they didn't want to, but because they weren't ready at that business in the time to start working with me. Same thing with you guys, right? Sales is made in the follow-up. If you guys aren't following up with your leads, they're not saying no. They're just saying no right now. But that's maybe because they're busy. Maybe they're going through a divorce. Maybe they're going through this. Maybe going through that. Like, you don't know what's going on in their life. But if you're consistently following up, they're like, oh, wow, this person does really good business. I really want to work with them. Comes back to this, engage with them, stay fun. Like 50 posts a day, comment 50 posts a day, respond to stories. All of these things are super easy, that you can do, that can be done in an hour. Or hire somebody on your staff to do that, okay? This is Audrey Chisholm. This is the lady I was telling you about. In 2020, she was making $700K a year in profit, $2.4 million in 6 months. She finished the year last year at $5 million, and she just hit 8 figures this year. And she does what my mentor always tells me. And the big thing that he talks about is implementation is tied to the growth in your business, right? If you want to grow in your business, you have to implement the strategies. It's not about listening and great, you're reading the books, but if you're not implementing the strategies, you're not going to grow your business. And the quicker you implement, the quicker you grow your business, which is why I've seen people grow to this fact. And it was so crazy 2 years ago, if you would have told me, oh, these people are moving from 700K to 2.4 million, these numbers don't even sound real. This doesn't even, had I not seen it with my own eyes, I'd be like, this guy is BSing me. But I saw it. I've seen it with my own business. We're at 69K a year. In a year's time, we hit $500,000. We're on a $1.2 million run rate. We're gonna hit 8 figures in the next 5 years. And not because I hoping and I wish, I have a plan. I'm learning from these masterminds that I'm going to. I'm listening to other business owners that are making $5, $10, $20 million in revenue. And I'm like, okay, all right, well, what they're saying is, you gotta do this. Now I'm doing that. Okay, accountability charts with my vision, mission, core values. How am I doing my processes and procedures? What are my service standards, customer journey, the whole nine. Yeah, that's true too, right? You wanna hit 7 figures, what does that mean in your business? How many customers do you need to have to get to 7 figures, right? And then from there you go, okay, I need these people. These are my leaders. This is what I need to get to 7 figures, right? And you guys got to think about, this is something that you guys need to think about too. Not everybody's a LeBron James. You don't need 8 LeBron James in your business. You need 1, right? Because that you need the followers and you need the leaders, right? So you have to think about, how do I micromanage my employee to get them to the point where they become a leveraged employee? And leveraged employees can teach other people, right? That's how they become leveraged employees. But it goes back to being clear about what it is that you're wanting them to do. If you're not clear about it, they're not gonna get there. And that comes back to the fundamentals, the customer journey, and what is your system. So,
hi everyone, I'm Audrey Chisholm, and I'm the founder of Chisholm Law Firm. We help companies and individuals start and grow nonprofits that impact the world. So when you think about, having a marketing team, a video team to help you, get your message out to everyone, there are a couple of fears that I originally had. But I have to tell you that working with Armando has been completely different. We've done so many recordings, everything. He's never lost any video footage. They always show up early. They're prepared and ready to go when I show up as the client. And that's really refreshing. He's always pushing the envelope to invest in the best equipment so that you look great, from the graphics to the music, all of that. They care about the presentation. They're always asking you, hey, what do you want? What do you want to see? And then going back and just adding their own special sauce to it to make it look great. If you need any type of video production needs, etc., marketing needs, all of that, they are great, they are reliable, and you won't be disappointed.
yay. All right. So, like I said, what we learned is nobody wants to be sold to in these DMs when you're engaging, right? Laughter is the best icebreaker. If you guys see a funny meme, share that. I've put all of my clients in my favorites on my phone, right? So I can text them immediately. I'm in contact with them at least twice a week, where I'm either sending them a fun GIF, or I'm sending them a funny meme or a little tip or whatever. And then the leads too, those people that are I have my opportunities, right? That's sort of everybody that's coming to the business. Then I have my lead. Then I have so it's opportunities. How did I tag it? Leads. So I have the opportunities, then leads, and those are people that are almost there. And then I have the red hot leads, right? Those are the people that are like sitting there, you know they're gonna do it, but they're not there yet. Like, and those are probably about 5 or 6 people. Those are the people that you're like constantly, hey, what's going on? Don't ever say this either. I'm just following up. Don't do that. Oh, I'm just touching base, or I'm just following up. Is everything okay? No. Send them funny stuff. Send them funny stuff. Send them funny stuff. You know, and then they know. We all know. We both know that they're on the fence, whether or not they've made the decision or not. You don't have to hound them about that. I had a personal injury attorney in Baton Rouge, Josh Palmentier. And I did send him because he was like ghosting me for a second. I was like, hey man, I'm just reaching out to talk to you about your extended car warranty. You know, and then he was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I get it, man. All right, I'm just, I'm busy. I know you're busy, man. I'm just touching base. And so anything funny, to break that up. So give first, give without expectations. That's a big one too. Don't expect it. I know a lot of people there's a book called The Go-Giver. I don't know if you guys have ever read that book, but it's amazing. It's just give without the expectation of anything in return. And when you start to operate that way, you may not get anything from that person, but something else in your life comes around and it happens, right? Like if you just keep giving, keep that value, keep that thought process, everything else just works out. So give without expectations. So obviously, this all makes sense? Yes. Does it make sense to you, right? Consistency is key. One, marketing. This isn't gonna happen in a month or 2 months, but if you do this consistently, month after month after month, it's like compound interest. It will start to build. More people will know you, more people will buy from you, more testimonials, more reviews, more of that, and it just continues to grow. So you gotta stay consistent, right? It makes sense. This is exciting? Is everybody excited? Yeah, sweet deal. It's also a little overwhelming, right? No? Does it feel like you guys can do this? 31 pieces of content in a month? Great. So I'm gonna spend 10 minutes going over my offer. Is that cool? Can I do that? Y'all good with that? All right, cool. This is what I offer people, and I call it the fastest growth marketing system in the world. What we do is we grow your business with the right tools and help you guys navigate that in a very short period of time. Yes, you can do it yourselves, and if you can, do it. If you don't have the time, hire somebody, and if you guys need to hire somebody, we're the guys for you. We travel all the time, and I've got clients in New York, Miami, Colorado, California, like all over the place. And we come in and we do their content once a month, and we edit it. Some of them have their own marketing companies that all we have to do is give them the content and they distribute it, or we bring it in-house and we can do that for you, right? But starts with what is, the development and what is it that we can do to hit your first 7 figures. I don't know where you guys are 7-figure wise, or if you guys are wanting to get to 5, 8 figures, right? That's what we're gonna start with, is like, okay, how do we get there? And then it rolls into the development. Development and pre-production. So me and my writers is who we deal with. My Will, Adrian, and Gideon and myself will sit down and we'll start going over, okay, what's your developing your messaging, your branding. We'll create your social media calendar, topic creation. We'll write the scripts for you. We'll hire the crew, casting, locations, logistics, the whole 9. And we do that for $2,000 a month, right? Obviously, the people who fail to plan to fail. Here's another case study from Richard Jaffe. He's in New York. He's a PI attorney. He's about to hit at 8 figures himself. I'll spare you guys another testimonial. I think you guys get the point. Here are some of the clients that we've worked with that have really transformed their business as a result of working with us. And, some people are not ready to scale, right? Some people I can say, hey, I'm going to turn this faucet on and we're going to bring you, 100, 200 leads that are coming through a month. If you can't handle it, then it doesn't matter, right? At that point, we're not talking, we need to have a different conversation, which we can, right? At that point, it's like, hey, Armando, I can't handle 100 leads coming through. I need to get back to the fundamentals, figure out what my customer journey is, figure out who I need in my business to get to that point, and then we can have a marketing conversation, right? Although I don't think you should ignore it completely. You should just continue, creating the content as you go. It doesn't have to be 31 pieces of content, but it could be that you're posting twice a week, right? And if you're consistently posting Tuesdays and Thursdays, then people will at least see that, and then you can build on that, okay? So then we roll into pre-production, which is our second phase of the business, right? Which we do the pre-production and development stuff. And then the production is one full day of shooting, and we also bring an actor there. And it's $2,000 for about an 8-hour shoot, and we can pull in, like I said, about 40 to 60 pieces of content in one day, right? We've been really good at that. And then obviously, hiring a professional videographer, as Cannon back there. And y'all can meet Cannon, he's a videographer, and then J-Rock over here, he's also a videographer. So they can make sure that the performance is good, right? The framing looks good, the setting up the shots, making sure that they're shooting some B-roll. Do you guys know what B-roll is? So B-roll is just the secondary stuff that isn't you talking, it's just you in action, right? So that we have something to cut with. So that's why I think you guys should hire a professional. Obviously, editing, 31 pieces of content is right at $6,200, and this is what most of my people do besides the social media engagement and the management itself, right? Obviously, you want to hire an editor because it's going to speed up the whole process. If you don't know how to edit, hire somebody to do that for you, right? It's going to make it look better. It's going to make you look more professional, and the more professional you look, the better your stuff is going to come across. Here's another case study from a gentleman that we work with, Gulf Offshore Rentals. Here's a fun story about this gentleman. So when we started working with him last year, super niche. All he does is rent equipment to oil and gas rigs out in the Gulf, and that's a small, really part of the equation. He's like, "Oh, Armando, I don't think social media is going to work for me." I was like, "Look, all you need is one person, right, to make this all worthwhile, because when you're renting your stuff out, you're renting it at $250,000 and up, right? Those are the deals that you're starting to get." And he's like, "Oh, all right, well, let's try it." First month, nothing. Second month, nothing. However, his current clients were loving the content, right? And they were just like, "Hey, we should do more air blowers or whatever," right? So he was like, "Yeah, Armando, I'm not really getting that much out of it," right? Third month, he posted a video on LinkedIn. A representative from Siemens that was in Louisiana saw it, called him up, and I think it was like a $750,000 deal. And I'm like, there you go. Had you not been consistent across the board, you'd have missed that opportunity, because guess what? Not everybody's online every day. They might pop in, they may pop out, so being consistent is where it's at. Distribution. And that's what we do. That's what we can do as well. 31 days of social media management and distribution across 5 social media platforms. And so that's what the total would be for a month. For most of our clients, I also give them a $3,000 discount, because I tell them that they have to be on with me for 6 months for this to work. And then I also tell them that if they do this with me, in 6 months, I will triple their business, or I'll give them the money back, 100%. So, like I said, social media management, it's all about the consistency and the posting. So, and then I asked them, I said, "Look, what would the end result be worth to you? If I can tell you, hey, I can take your business, triple, quadruple your current revenue, how much would you pay to get that?" Right? I might pay $13,700 a month to get there fast, right? But like I said, if they do a 6-month contract, I give it to them at $10,700. And like I said, we can also subtract some of this stuff so that maybe we're only doing 15 pieces of content, or maybe 10 pieces of content. But at 10 pieces, I stick to 10 pieces as like the minimum, because otherwise it just doesn't really make sense for us to work. So goes back to processes and procedures. We can help you with that too, right? So if you guys aren't at a point where you're like, "Oh, man, the marketing seems like it's, a really big spend," maybe is what we have to work on, is really coaching you up to be in a position to accept a 7-figure business and to be prepared to accept 7 figures, right? So we can help you with that as well. Like I said, I got 100% money back guarantee. I know a lot of people are like, how can you guarantee this work? Because it's predictable. It's predictable. It's just like Applebee's. If you're consistent with those ratios, 37%, 25%, 10%, and the rest, if you're consistent with those ratios, you will grow your business. It's just cause and effect, you know? So I have no problem giving people a guarantee. And then this is my consulting program where we meet 4 hours every month. It's once a week. And we really do a deep dive, and then I'm on you about implementing the strategies. So I'm like, get this done. Where are we? Where are we with this? Is there a bottleneck? Are you running out of time? Do you need some help? Maybe you need an executive assistant. You know what I mean? And so we really start to figure out, okay, what it is that we need to do to get you in a position to start doing marketing at that level, right? Because this is what, and I just started doing this about a couple of months ago because I did notice that there was a need for it, because people are like, hey, Armando, I really want to do this, but I'm not in a position to do this because I don't have the team or whatever. And I'm like, oh, well, I can help you with that. Okay, great. So that's what I do with my consulting program. And I think that's it. Yeah. That's my time.
Hey guys, I want to ask y'all guys to give a hand to Armando, first of all.